ready to drive this car. It's basically ready. I got a couple more things to bolt on, a couple more things to look over. I can't drive it without doors. And I don't want to put the doors back on because they're not painted. So I need to paint the doors today. No, I'm not painting the outside. I'm painting the jambs. That way I can permanently reattach them to the car. And then when I take it to the painter, they don't have to worry about painting the door jambs themselves, because once they're on there, you can't get to all the nooks and crannies. And then I need to get the intercoolers and piping all fully bolted up. First things first, I gotta get the 996 out of here. Definitely don't want to overspray on that. Actually, I need to get the sawhorses too. I'm really close to driving this car, but I can't drive it without doors. So back to the paint work. Hopefully this goes as well as the door jambs did in a previous video. It's too cold to be painting outside, so in the garage we go. Wish me luck. It's time to get these doors prepped. There is a lot of prep work that comes before paint work, as you guys are well aware. Luckily, the doors don't have that much to take off, to prep, to clean, etc. So let's get started with removing a bunch of these seals and the mirrors. The wiring loom is a little tricky because I can't remove the whole thing, at least not easily, so I taped it off as best I could. Something I just recently learned was to clean your parts before you start the sanding. That way you're not sanding the dirt and stuff into the paint, which is pretty smart. I've just never done it before. But once it's clean, it's time to get out the Scotch-Brite pad and get everything, well, unshiny. With all the areas prepped, it's time to cover everything up with some plastic and more tape. Basically, this whole metal panel on the inside of the door needs covered because obviously I don't want paint on the speakers, the electronics, etc. That's the driver's side all done. Now time to quickly do the passenger side. Doors are clean, sanded, prepped, taped, ready to go, but I should probably cover up the 997. While most of it doesn't matter if it gets overspray on it, I certainly don't want overspray on like the front trunk plastics and, most importantly, the interior. That ought to do it. I don't think it's really going anywhere. It seems to be stuck on there pretty well. Especially because, well, that fender's sticky. If you know, you know. Some final prep before painting. I like to get the garage floors and doors a little bit wet just to keep the dust down. It can get dusty in there. And then it was time to actually paint prep, get the paint mixed up with the reducer, get the gun cleaned out, get it in the gun, then it's time to shoot. We've all been there. You wake up, you go to get in your car to leave, and this happens. What the? Gee dang it. Having flat tire is no fun. But with today's technology, it really couldn't be any easier to fill up your tire than with one of these automatic tire inflators. Good thing I had this tire inflator. This one's from Yantu. It's at 4.5 PSI. Let's set it to 35. What I really like about the packaging is, well, the packaging. It's really nice. Everything fits where it should. It comes in this nice zippered case. It comes with a house outlet, and it comes with an outlet for your car as well. So no matter where you are, you can fill up your tires with confidence. It's really easy to use and automatically inflates it to whatever PSI you set. Well, that looks much better. If you're interested in a really easy to use and affordable tire inflator, check out the link in the description I have below. Thanks to Yantu for sponsoring this video. Where the rubber meets the road, it's time for the first coat of paint. I like to keep it really, really light just to make sure it sticks on that first coat, and then go a little heavier on the later coats. After a quick blow, I can take the air gun to the doors and make sure they're nice and dust free. And then I can lay down the first coat. Keep in mind this is a $20 or $30 Amazon paint gun, but it does work pretty well. After that came a second heavier coat, and here are the results. And yeah, a lot of paint was in this garage, and unfortunately in my house as well. This little fan was doing all it could to get all the fumes outside. After 3 coats, everything was looking good, but I had so much paint, I figured I might as well put a 4th coat on, and even with a 4th coat, I was going to have a ton of paint left. So my question was,
but what could I use that extra paint for?
And then it hit me. The Y-pipe was in really rough looking shape. It was just beat up and old. So it makes perfect sense to color match for that, especially with all the extra paint I have. So I started sanding. And since it's plastic and it's in an area that's going to get touched a lot, I put 3 coats of adhesion promoter on there as well. I'm hoping that helps the paint really stick. Afterwards, I did the 4th and final coat on the door jambs, and then started painting the Y-pipe.
That's a wrap on base coat. I am doing something a little bit different with the clear. I actually couldn't get any clear coat at any local parts stores, like for the gun. So I have this leftover 2K clear, and I was really happy with this stuff on my headlights. I think this will work out well for just simply the doors and the intake, or the Y-pipe, whatever you want to call it.
So the Y-pipe was ready for a clear coat at the same time the doors were ready for clear coat. And the first coat went on nice and smooth, no issues. same could be said for the second coat of clear coat on the doors and the Y-pipe. This stuff really sprays on nice, and I've never had any issues with it. It's good stuff.
Doors are done. Y-pipe is done. Everything's clear coated. Looks pretty darn good. Went pretty smoothly. Now I'm just trying to air out the garage because it stinks. And then I got a little heater down here. I'll get the heater going and let all this kind of cure and kind of bake overnight. It should be pretty warm in here. Overall, very happy though. I'm excited to get everything back installed and the doors on the car for the final time.
It all came out really, really nice. The only real imperfection was on the Y-pipe. I got a pretty big run right in the middle where they come together, but that can be taken care of.
Actually, before this clear coat is fully cured, I'm gonna unmask it. And there's a spider in my clear coat. Get out of there. Get.
I actually put the doors inside my house because I had to air out the garage because it was pretty smelly in here, and well, I needed the parts in the warm. With the paint cured and doors back in the garage, I could fully remove all of the tape and get them fully assembled and ready for install. By the way, if you're new here or just haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate a subscription. I'm trying to hit 60,000 by the end of the year. I think my only regret with this project was not taping up that hinge piece there, because it's supposed to be black. I just either didn't think about it or forgot about it, or didn't think there'd get much paint on it, but I was wrong. Can't find two nuts. There they are. Left them in the car. Doors are back assembled. I'm not going to put the moldings on because, well, they're going to need to come off when the car gets painted, so I might as well leave them all off. So I think I'm good to actually install the doors, which is great because I can't really drive the car without doors. These doors have been taking up room in the garage, so it'll be nice to finally bolt them on there permanently. I do suppose I should remove the plastic from the car as well. Overall, very pleased with the paint job. Once the door cards are on, I think these are going to look basically OEM, which of course is the goal. But now it's time to actually get them mounted on the car for the final time. Now hopefully I can put these on without scratching anything. Easier said than done, I'm certain. First, the wiring harness needs to get fed in, and the door has to be close enough to feed it in, which was a problem in and of itself. This is definitely a two-person job, but it's just me, one person. Hey, the hinge part is on, so that's good. This should be the hardest part. Once it was hung, I could put in the bolts for the hinges and the bolt for the spring-loaded actuator thing. Once those are tightened down, all that's left is to make sure the rubber grommet for the wiring harness is properly installed on the inside and outside of the fender well area. I think I put the door latches on backwards. We flip-flop that real quick. These guys, I think it needs to go the other way because I think this is hitting the door, not allowing it to close. We've got a working door. Sweet! Just with that quick bolt on of the door and fender, you can see the gaps are pretty good, and this is with zero adjustment. I need to clean up this mess and get the yellow car back inside. And before I put this door on, I want to put the fender on the other side, and that's still on the car outside, and it's dark and it's still raining. I almost forgot about the Y-pipe. Admittedly, this didn't come out as nice as the jams. It didn't come out as shiny. You got that one run there, but it certainly looks miles better than what it did before. It looked pretty beat up. It's a pretty cold day here in December, and I don't want to go outside and work on this car, but I got to get those other parts off to put them on this one, because I need everything up there to be put on. Oh, and it's snowing. That's even better. Oh, this weather sucks. Guess it would help if I wasn't wearing shorts. Each fender kind of had its own challenge. The driver's side has the washer fluid tank and some extra associated wiring and tubing for that, while the passenger side has the gas filler neck and some extra wiring for that as well. So neither one of these are particularly easy, but they're not too hard either. Like I said, fitting the doors isn't exactly a one-person job, but it is doable. Luckily, the hinges are built so that when the door is in place, it can just hang there. The bolts underneath simply just make sure that the door doesn't slide up and off. Just like the driver's side, the fender gaps and door gaps are pretty darn nice. And again, I didn't adjust them, I just simply bolted them on. All the body parts are on the car and lined up pretty well. Now it's, well, only a few things left to do before I can drive it. So that's the goal in the next video, is to drive this car. I gotta wait for that shroud to come in, for the passenger side intercooler, get the intercoolers all bolted up, get the painted Y pipe installed, make sure the shifter is bolted down because I still didn't finish that up. A couple minor things, and then good for its first test drive. This is terrifying.